seeing it animated is so good, but he thinks that Jinshi is a dumb little boy. It's so frustrating to read. People are like, oh my god, the Moon Prince is coming back, yay! Season 2 of the Apothecary Diaries is coming to the end, which is really a shame since it's one of my favorite animes. Literally my favorite, to the point that I'm actually reading the light novels, because usually I do not. Usually I just start watching the anime, don't even read the manga, don't even read the light novels, but for the Apothecary Diaries, I have to do it just for the Apothecary Diaries. In this video, I'm going to read the rest of the volumes that are currently out from volume 11. In the last video that I made reading the light novel, I finished reading at volume 10. So I'm going to continue on with volume 11 to whatever book is newly published. I think it's either 13 or 14. I'm super excited to continue on with the volumes because, if I'm being honest, I heard a little bit of spoilers, especially when it comes to the romance between Jinshi and Mao. And I know that's not the most important part of the story, but because that's what is mentioned the most, that also makes me very intrigued to read about the politics. From my memory, volume 10 leaves off with the locust, where they're invading the farms, and honestly reading it was kind of scary because I do not like bugs at all. This video will contain spoilers because the first video that I did was spoiler free, which I don't even know how I did that. How did I not talk about this book more? Because there was a lot of things that I probably would have wanted to say, but because I was like, oh, it's gonna be spoiler free, I didn't say it. And now it is the time for this video to contain spoilers. So if you haven't read the light novels, you haven't read the manga, I don't even know if the manga has caught up to the light novels, but yeah, if you haven't read the light novels, please do not watch this video. Please watch the anime and you can start reading the light novels as well. I'm halfway through volume 11 and it was really easy for me to get immersed into this world straight away. And I will admit, I did forget some of the characters. There was this one character, I don't know how to pronounce her name, I think it's like Shui or Chu, but I kind of forgot who she was when she got mentioned in the book, but then I remembered, and I love her personality so much. I love how hyper she is and how she just kind of goes her own way. She's just such a weird person, but I like her. And as of right now, there is a grasshopper infestation that is eating away all the crops, which honestly is my worst nightmare. I've seen TikToks of like locusts or grasshopper whatever that are stuck on people's front door, a bunch of them, and I've seen so many of those TikToks, and it's honestly terrifying. Just imagine a bunch of grasshoppers swarming to you. Mao and her gang are currently at the West. They're trying to solve these issues to help the people who are affected by this infestation, which are farmers, because they have a lack of crops and they're currently starving, having health issues. So they're just trying to do their best to help the people there. I love the politics in this book. I love political books in general. So Goku is proposing a war to Jinshi because he wants to like take over this other section, but he thinks that Jinshi is a dumb little boy because Jinshi hasn't really showed his power, and he is obviously considered the emperor's little brother, so I feel like he's looked down upon, but you know, he stands his ground. So I'm just really interested to see where the politics will go. There's a lot of characters in this book. Let's be honest, there are so many characters, but I kind of love every single one of them. Even if they are considered not good characters, I just love the way that they're written and the depth that they have and the relationship they have with Mao, whether it's a good relationship or a bad relationship. Mao, just like her dynamic with everyone is so funny, and in this book especially, I love her relationship with her dad. Obviously she doesn't like him, and rightfully so, but it's just so funny how he only really cares about his family. So whenever they want him to do something, they just mention like Mama's name or that anything connected to Mama, and he would like go and do it straight away. And it's just cute, that dynamic. It's funny how Mama calls him Old Fart, and then Lihaku also calls him Old Fart. It's just like a name that is circling around, I guess. But I really do love their relationship, even though it's very complicated. I think Lakan is just he's a funny guy, and he's very sweet to Mao. I do not like this Gyoku guy, and I know it's part of the politics. I know. That's just how the politics work. But I'm like, especially when as an audience you obviously know the story behind what they're talking about. It's so frustrating to read. Basically, 𝐸𝐽 is twisting the story of 𝐵𝐵. The funny thing is, he is right that 𝐵𝐵 is the son of the emperor. He is right in his theory. So just like reading that is like, oh, but then he's using that story to twist doubt in his other siblings because he wants to go to war. So it frustrates me as an audience because I know he's totally right, but I don't want him to succeed in his plan. I will admit I went to the other volumes because I don't know, sometimes I like reading spoilers and he dies, so it's okay in the end, but I'm just wondering how that happens, but I guess we'll find out soon. But anyways, right now there is a ritual happening. 𝐵𝐵's being cornered to do this ritual to, I guess, bless the land with good health and more crops or something like that. I don't know, I haven't really reached that point of the story yet. But this 𝐸𝐽 man is very smart when it comes to politics, but he just frustrates me. Oh my god, you guys. Plot twist, 𝐸𝐽 is not even the son of 𝐸𝐽. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh my god, you guys. I just finished reading volume 11. And what even happened in this book? I swear the Apothecary Diaries, the volumes always start off super slow. Not that much is going on. And then all of a sudden, at the end of the book, you are getting hit left and right with all these little information that are stated so casually. But in my head, I'm like, whoa, this is too much. And I'm genuinely so shocked to see how all the little things are connected and to read about the backstories of these certain characters, which is why I really like the way that the Apothecary Diaries is written. We get a bunch of different characters, but then we get their background stories, and then it's genuinely so shocking to read. So we have 𝐸𝐽. We get his background story and the fact that his mom and sister got killed by 𝐸𝐽, and 𝐸𝐽 is the one who kills 𝐸𝐽. And the fact that 𝐸𝐽, as I mentioned before, is not even the son of 𝐸𝐽. But then it gets revealed that none of 𝐸𝐽's children are his biological children. They're all children taken from single mothers where he took them in as, I guess, concubines or consorts so that their skills would help him. And I saw that was dropped so casually. I sat there and read it and I was like, what? What do you mean they're not actually his biological children? Because I never thought of that at all. I do like 𝐸𝐽 though. I feel like his character, he seems very sweet. The fact that he really did love women, how he took them in. It was to his advantage, of course, because he is using them to help him build his business, but at the same time he is providing care for them and their children, and he considers their children also his biological children. But that was still so shocking for me to read, and as I mentioned, 𝐸𝐽 is not the son of 𝐸𝐽, and that caused a lot of issues because he was, I guess, he felt a little bit inferior when 𝐸𝐽 started to accept other kids into the family, even though 𝐸𝐽 was the heir. So he killed 𝐸𝐽's sister and mother, and then 𝐸𝐽 kills 𝐸𝐽, and then there's this whole revelation of 𝐸𝐽's milk brother, and then what is even going on in this book? And this is why I cannot handle it, because so many things get revealed and my mind is still, it's just reeling. I still cannot wrap my head around, and I love it so much when there's so many things that happen in this book that you don't expect at all. It's so unpredictable, but it's so exciting to read. And then it's also revealed that the three handmaidens of 𝐸𝐽, the three handmaidens are cousins to 𝐸𝐽, which does make sense because they do look very similar. But it's crazy because we had this whole scene of 𝐸𝐽 trying to manipulate his siblings into thinking, oh, the Moon Prince is not really the Emperor's brother, he is his son. And then all of a sudden the milk brother comes in, threatens to kill him, then 𝐸𝐽 kills the milk brother, and then 𝐸𝐽 kills 𝐸𝐽, and then we get that whole backstory. The build-up was crazy because there was no build-up. Everything dropped so casually, and I genuinely, when I read the last couple of chapters, hands over my mouth, shocked. And that's why the Apothecary Diaries is so exciting to read. I also watched episode 46 today, and we are approaching the end. We are finally getting 𝐭𝐶 going to the stronghold, bringing everything down and rescuing 𝐷𝐷 amongst other things. But honestly, that was not the focus of the episode for me. It was exciting to finally see him in his armor and see his like true self. But what I really liked was 𝐸𝐸 and her relationship with 𝐷𝐷. Even reading the volumes, you know about their relationship and how much 𝐷𝐷 really loves 𝐸𝐸, even though she probably doesn't admit it. And the fact that 𝐸𝐸 also knows 𝐷𝐷 so well that she tells her mother to punish 𝐷𝐷 by putting her in a room full of snakes and bugs because she knows that 𝐷𝐷 wouldn't be scared of that. And just like the final moments of 𝐷𝐷 telling her to run away, to just go because she will end up getting killed, and 𝐸𝐸 saying that she has still some things left to do. Oh my god, seeing it animated is so good because you can really see the expression on their faces, even though it's so subtle. And yes, I read it in the books. Even reading that whole scene was amazing. And this is what I'm saying, all those plot twists that arise as you read the books. Like the beginning of the books feels so chill, and then all of these things get uncovered, and it's so exciting. But then seeing it actually get animated is completely different, and I'm so excited for season 2 to finish. Also, I'm a little bit sad, but I cannot wait to read volume 12 because when I tell you the Apothecary Diaries is so good, I mean it. So I'm halfway through volume 12 as of right now, and 𝐷𝐷 has gotten kidnapped again, which I find really funny that whenever she gets kidnapped, she always gets kidnapped by someone that knows her and that likes her. So every single time she gets provided with herbs and medicine and food that is to her taste, and they always give her the best, I guess, accommodation, and she's kidnapped. But at the same time, she is somewhat having fun. She's not treated badly, so I guess that's good. But she gets involved in this whole plot, and again, 𝐷𝐷 is like, this is none of my concern, it's none of my business, I shouldn't involve myself in situations like this. But then something happens and she's like, I'm kind of curious, and at the same time I cannot let this rest because 𝐦𝐿 is injured, and she is kind of like, I don't really want to heal him because that would put her in a kind of difficult position. But at the same time, she's like, well, I can't let him die. So she gets involved in that whole plot. I'm really interested to see what's going on with Miss True, because as of right now, she works for 𝐭𝐶, but there's this whole other plot that she is involved in. I'm not really sure what's going on in terms of Miss True and 𝐦𝐿 and how that all works out, but as of right now, 𝐷𝐿 has found out that 𝐷𝐷 has gotten kidnapped, or that she's missing, and obviously 𝐭𝐶 and the others are trying to find her, and 𝐷𝐷 is traveling to get back to the west, but it's not really going that well. 𝐷𝐷 is also looking after 2 kids, which is 𝐵𝑒okajun and xiaohon, and 𝐵𝑒okajun is such a funny little brat. Honestly, it's so funny how every single time 𝐷𝐷 refers to 𝐵𝑒okajun, she is always like, ugh, that little brat. She just hates him a lot. She really hates him, and rightfully so, because he is really annoying. But then xiaohon is like the opposite of that, an angel. I finished reading volume 12 of the Apothecary Diaries, and the overall arc in the Western Capital is so good. Reading about the different characters and seeing how the stories interconnect, and seeing, I guess, the little Easter eggs that are dropped throughout the book, and then seeing how that all comes together. It's so satisfying, but also so entertaining to read. Throughout this book, I don't know, I just feel like the volumes get better and better as we explore new places and we meet new characters. And seriously, just seeing how all the stories come together, I was flabbergasted. I swear I got whiplash every single time something new was revealed. And it was also really funny because we get the whole scene of 𝐷𝐿's brother, and they call him 𝐷𝐿's brother, so they don't actually really know what his name is. But then at the end, when they go back to the central capital, and 𝐷𝐷 forgets to tell 𝐷𝐿's brother that they are going back, and then there's this name on the list, and this other boy who is really young kind of tries to work for them. He has the same name as the name on the list, so he was kind of like, oh, I was also like shocked when I saw my name on the list to go back with you guys. And then it's not explicitly stated, but it's very hinted that Lahan's brother has the same name, and it was Lahan's brother who was supposed to go to the capital, but Mama forgot to tell him, and nobody knew what his name really was, and he's just stuck in the Western capital farming. And I found that so hilarious, but I don't know why when I read that scene, I was like, oh, it confirmed what his name actually was. Because when I first read that part, it was kind of like, I don't really understand what's going on in the scene. But then later on, I was like, oh yeah, that was it. Also, I kind of forgot that Mama gets kidnapped 3 times. Like, this is her 3rd time getting kidnapped. I completely forgot that she got kidnapped the first time, and that's how the whole story literally started. So this is her 3rd time. Hopefully she doesn't get kidnapped anymore. The whole arc of Mama getting kidnapped as well, I swear every single time she gets kidnapped, a lot of eventful stuff happen. It's not like she's trapped in this room, nowhere to move, getting treated badly. It's more like she goes on a little like side quest, on a little adventure, and Mama was just like a smart girl. I also love Xiaohong. I hope we get to see her in the future, maybe when she's a little bit more grown up, and maybe she will join Mama in the future. But it's so cute how she listens to Mao and is somewhat obedient, but then later she slowly becomes like Mao, and I just love their relationship. So I hope we get to meet those characters again. Hualun, I'm a little bit like, what is this guy on? Like, what is he doing? But okay. So I already started reading volume 12, but I haven't really read that much. Literally, I think only I've read 4%, where they've docked at the central capital, and people are like, oh my god, the moon prince is coming back, yay. So I finished reading volume 13, and this one was a pretty short volume. When I found out that it was only 200 pages, I was pretty sad, but I feel like this is kind of a wrap up of the previous arc and the introduction to the next arc, because the last arc I would say was pretty long, and I feel like this is just a chill volume where we get to see the point of view from different characters, and I really liked seeing the point of views of different characters and getting an update of their life, because there are so many different characters, and there were many characters that were left behind in the central region. So going back from the west, we are able to meet these characters again and get their point of views and their updates on their lives. And I would say some of my favorite chapters was Lahan's brother's chapter, because his chapter was so funny. The way that it was written was kind of like a poem. We kind of get a recount of what happened in the western capital through his point of view, and then at the end of the chapter, he's like, because Mama forgot to tell him that they were going back, he comes back to the western capital, and he's like, wait a minute, where is everybody? Don't leave me. He does end up coming back, thankfully. It was just so funny to read from his point of view. I just feel like he's a very unique character, because literally when I was reading his chapter, I was like, this guy is kind of like dramatic. The way that his point of view is written is so interesting, but really reflects his character and how unique he is, in my opinion. We also get the point of view of Joka. Obviously, we get introduced to her in the earlier volumes, but to be honest, I don't really know that much about her. So I feel like she will play an important part in the story later, especially because we get certain things that are revealed about her. And I'm really interested in her character because all the courtesans, all the 3 princesses are very, very different from each other, and she is more smart, but she unfortunately can't explore her education and her knowledge because obviously she's a woman, and because of that she'll be looked down upon. It's so interesting to get different point of views and to see how people react to Mao and how they view her. The way that people always describes Mao as someone who, she seems like she does whatever she wants to do, obviously, but also in a way she doesn't show a lot of emotions unless it's about like poison medicine or about her family. She's very passionate about those things, and especially with the whole reveal of Jinshi being the empress and Aldo's son, she knew about that whole situation because she assumed it, but at that point it was officially confirmed. So I just love seeing all the point of views of the different characters and how their relationship with Mao is also like different, but I guess also not, because obviously with the way that Mao is, the way that she treats people is kind of like the same. Mao is such an interesting character, and it's just so funny to see how people react to her and how they kind of rely on her in a way. We also get the last chapter of Jinshi and Mao. With that chapter, I'm very curious to see where the relationship goes in volume 14 to 16, so I am just waiting for those books to be officially translated so that I can finally read them, because I really enjoyed this volume. I think it gives a pretty good break between the two arcs, and I know that the next volumes, hopefully a new arc will start and it's gonna be amazing. But yeah, that's all for volume 13. I think episode 47 of the Apothecary Diaries is supposed to come out today or tomorrow. I don't know, it's going to be released soon, so I'm very excited to watch that. But thank you guys for watching this video. Please like, subscribe and all that jazz, and I will see you guys in another one. Bye.